friends.
Hey, friends.
Welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it. I'm Oria Jewale.
I'm Cassie J.
Do you know? I think this is the first time. So we've recorded, just letting you in a little secret, we have recorded another episode today. We did not introduce ourselves.
I know, but it's
And
been a
don't say,
year.
I knew she was going to come back with, at this point in our journey, if you don't know who we are, well, but I want to say, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We have introduced ourselves. We
Welcome.
hope you stay. We hope you find reason to stay. If this episode
Yep,
doesn't
yep,
do it for
yep.
you, there are at least 50 other episodes.
So
One
true.
of them will work.
One of them will do the
I
thing.
promise you, one of them will do the job. Um, but at this point, I feel like I've been on this pregnancy journey for quite some time. Like I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm further along in it. Um and I've learned a lot of things in that time, to be honest. I've learned a lot
Okay.
of things and had a lot of experiences. Um and one of those experiences I had just yesterday. Now,
Interesting.
it's not a mind-blowing, earth-shattering experience. It was just a new one.
Okay.
So far, why won't my phone unlock? What is
I don't
happening?
know. It doesn't want to
Technology
do it.
hates me. Yo. Okay. So it's not, it was just a new experience, that's all. Like in this journey, in this process. And I kind of, it just gave me pause. Now,
Mm.
I so when we were in uni, right?
Mhm.
Deb and I listened to this preacher, this pastor, and honestly, I cannot remember what he was talking about, but I feel like he was saying something along the lines of like, maybe like God's blessings or God's miracles happen hastily, quickly, without warning. But it was
Okay.
more the way he said it. He was just like hastily, quickly. You know how preachers do, without warning. That's how pregnancy happens to you. It happens to you
Hectic.
hastily, quickly, without warning. There's no such thing as a little bit pregnant. You're pregnant, you know?
Got
And
it.
I went, and I've heard a lot of women say this thing. I felt like I
Mm.
went to sleep one night with like a cute teeny weenie. And then I woke up the next morning and wowza, I had like a basketball, a basketball sized tummy. That's how it felt. And so I'd been used to like the averted gazes. Like that's mostly the reaction I'd been getting from people, is the
Oh yeah,
averted
yeah.
gazes or like the
Yes.
soft smiles, but then they don't say anything. This soft
Where they're like
smile.
the knowing smile. They're like,
Yeah. And especially I get those smiles
oh,
from women,
of
especially
course.
older women. You just
Who
a small
know what you're
smile. Who
going through.
know?
Yeah.
But yesterday I was heading out the building, and there was this older couple coming behind me. So then I
Mm.
hold the door open for them. And they're like, "Oh no, no, it's okay. You got there first. You go." And I'm like, "Well, I'm like already
We're here
holding the
now.
door open. It's okay. You guys can come through." And they're like, "Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart." And as they're about to walk past me, the woman goes, "How's the baby?" And for a minute there, I'm confused. Cass, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so confused. I'm like, what baby? I'm carrying a handbag. There's no babe. And oh, right. I'm showing like proper showing. So then I smile, and she said it with a smile and everything. And she's like, it feels like she's giving strong grandma energy, right? And
Yeah.
so I just smile back and I'm like, baby's fine. And they continue on their way. That was encounter number one. So then later in the day, a couple of hours later, I am at the nail salon
Mm,
getting my nails done
mm,
because we still want to look like a human being even though we're pregnant, right? So
mm.
um I'm trying to get in the chair. So I was getting like a mani pedi and I wanted to get them like simultaneously. So I'm trying to get in the chair, there's that always that little tub thing at the bottom that you put
Yeah,
your
yeah,
feet
yeah.
in. And
Yes.
it's not the most comfortable of situations to get into. So I'm like
Yeah.
maneuvering like with my tummy and like, okay, how we doing this, And
Yeah.
the nail technician walks up and she kind of sees me figuring this thing out because now sitting and standing, it's a bit of a puzzle. You must figure out what body part goes where first and how do you anyway. So I'm doing this thing and then the nail technician comes up to me and she goes, "You have baby?" I don't know if she's Asian. I don't know if she's Korean, but she goes, "You have baby?" And again, Aura is confused. Even though I'm doing the maneuvering work, it has just become like part of my everyday that I didn't
Okay.
realize that this is why I was doing. And so I pause and then I say to her, "Yeah." So I get seated and we're doing this process and we're getting things done. And then like more than halfway into my service, she asks me my due date. She's like, "When are you due?" Now I'm really taken aback. I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then she's like, "Yeah, when are you due?" And I'm sitting at this point, we've moved from the chair. I'm sitting at like this bar. You know how they have this bar and the technicians are all on one side and we're all on the
Yep,
other
yep,
side. So
yep.
I'm like in between these two ladies and there's technicians. And then the technician next to her chimes in to be like, "Yeah, due date." And now I'm just like, yo, it feels like it has become a communal
It's
conversation.
a
Everyone that can
discussion,
hear is kind of now invested in hearing the
chiming
answer.
in.
And you know me, I don't like to be the drama. I
I
try not
know.
to be. So I'm
I
like,
know.
because it's weird for me, and my Nigerian self is kicking me like, "Shut up and sit down." But I'm just like, I don't want to make a thing out of it. So I say to her, "Oh, May." And then she goes, "May when?" And I'm like, "Haibo, what does she want to do with this information?" But then I kind of look around, just like subtly look around. I can see that everyone is sort of waiting.
Everybody wants to know, when is
Everybody
baby
wants to
due?
know. And I'm not comfortable with it. And I should have said that, but I just respond anyway. I say to her, when. Um, and then she's like, and then I go, "Why?" Because it's strange for me. And then she goes, "Oh, because her son was born on her." She goes, "My baby was born." And then she tells me the date that her baby was born. And I'm
Mm.
like, "Oh, it's the same month. That's why she was curious to know." And I'm like, "Oh, is that what's happening here? Are we like
You're
having a
bonding.
mom to mom moment? Like, are we going to
You're
talk about our
becoming
babies?
friends.
Is that what's
Exactly.
happening?" And so I ask her,
1000%.
how? I ask her, "Oh, how old is he?" And we just have like a cute little chat. And I'm just like, okay, aren't we glad that Ore didn't like jump down this woman's throat to be
Aggressively
like, "Oh, you don't
whipping.
ask people that, you don't." But it got me thinking. I was just like, okay, are we doing that now? Like, are we actually openly asking people if they're pregnant and asking them their due? Like, is that a thing? Because what I understand is you never ask someone if they're pregnant, right?
I think you never ask unless you're sure. Like, if
How are
you
you
are like,
sure?
mm, I mean,
No, Cass, how are
I've
you sure? Because a woman
like
could
you
have
can.
fibroids and she could look pregnant. So how are you sure?
That's what I'm saying. Is that like if she looks like she's a quarter to popping, like
That's what I'm
she
saying,
probably is
Cass. There's
pregnant.
people who have fibroids and it looks like that.
But
They're
chances
not
are more
pregnant.
likely that you're pregnant. No.
But it's just okay. So here's my thing. It felt like a very growing up and especially like in this day and age, it just felt like a thing that or like an unspoken rule you don't ask. And you know how
No,
if
you
you've
don't
been on
ask.
this
Yeah.
podcast long enough, you know how I feel about even asking people when they want to have babies.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Mind your business. I
Yeah.
feel like I sort of agree with the general unspoken rule that you don't ask if someone is pregnant because you don't know. Like I saw it's not a tweet. I saw something and the person was
But
like,
sometimes you do.
"How do you
Anyway,
know?"
sorry. Finish your tweet.
No, she was like, you could be I think this girl was like, you could be about your water could be about to break and I would still pretend like I don't know you're pregnant, except you tell me. And she was like, and when you tell me, I will be surprised. What? You're pregnant? You don't say. I'm like, that is the right response. Anything outside of that,
So
mind your business.
funny.
I don't know. It just feels like such a. Okay, very drastic example. Very drastic, but go with me. It's like seeing a woman who's shaved her head and asking her, "Oh, are you recovering? Do you have cancer? Are you in
Like,
chemo?"
is it the same thing?
Girl.
Look, here's my thing. Is that like, if you are uh, I hear you, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to ask. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to ask. In fact, I don't know if I've ever straight up gone to someone and been like, "Are you pregnant?" Unless it's like my friend and they're like being annoying, and I'm like, "Are you pregnant? What's happening?" Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Love
but
that you brought that up because there is a story, but I hear you.
okay, but at the same time, I think that for me, I'm speaking to your point. I would wait for someone else to confirm it. But in my mind, I'm like, they're pregnant. And then I won't ask them if they're pregnant. If someone else has confirmed it to be like, oh, did you know that Allison is pregnant? I'd be like, oh, okay, so she is pregnant. Then
Mm.
when I go to Allison, I'd be like, Allison, congratulations, I heard you're
But
pregnant.
Allison didn't tell you. What if she
But
didn't want to tell you?
I would still do that.
I don't know. So look, I honestly I'm not saying that there's any one way to do this, right?
Yeah.
Personally, it was strange for me because it was these two experiences were the first two times that anyone has, directly said anything to me about it. Everyone else has got the small smiles and the averted gazes. And to be very honest, I kind of did sort of prefer like the grandma style, the grandma who was just like, "How's the baby?" to the averted gazes. Because the averted gazes one is kind of weird. It's like, guys, it's just a human baby. I'm not walking around like Daenerys with two dragons. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's starting to get really weird. Like, why
But
are
for
we
me, it's
all
like that's
so
just being polite. Like, I don't want you to think that I'm just staring at you.
but you would stare at me either ways. Like if I wasn't pregnant, you'd look at me and you'd look me in the eye. Do you get what I mean? But now all of a sudden you're like, oh, do I look at you? Do I not look at you? I'm just like, I'm not like it's so I don't know where I
This is
stand.
so interesting hearing this from the other side because I'm like, do I avert my gaze? Do I do the soft, knowing smile? Do I like,
I do the soft smile thing. Because I've had to call my like, what do I do? I do the
yeah,
soft smile thing. I do the soft smile thing with a woman who's pregnant, with a woman who's got a baby. Like if they've like an actual child out in the world, I do that soft smile thing, just like
mm,
I
mm,
see you, I
so
recognize,
cute.
yeah, that sort of thing. So
Mm.
I I don't know whether it's right or not, but I know that growing up, it wasn't acceptable, and there's many reasons. Like you don't know what the situation is. You
Yeah, fair,
don't
fair,
know
fair.
whether they really are pregnant. You don't know if they're even happy about, being
About
pregnant.
being
You
pregnant,
don't know
yeah.
if they are depressed. You don't like there's a lot of things that could be happening. You don't know if they've been trying to conceal as well,
Mm.
and now are just not really winning. But anyway, I went on the internet because I was like, are we doing this now? Are we just blatantly asking people if they're pregnant?
Wait,
um
you were gonna do a story time.
yeah, the story time is from the internet. It's not my story.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do a you story. Okay,
I
tell me the
Of what? Of
internet
a friend
story.
asking me? I don't have that. You're my only friend. I'm
Stop it.
kidding.
Ridiculous human.
but so my question was, are we, because with the lady at the nail salon, it was just like a friendly overture, like a conversation starter. I'm like, are
I'm
we
with you. I'm with you. I'm
are
with
we
you.
like asking, are you pregnant or when's your due date as conversation starters now? It feels very private, but let's hear what the internet has to say. Okay, so I've got a few stories, and I'll go through really, really quick. Um, So the first story is actually the one about the friend. So this one says that she had a friend who she's sort of estranged from. Like
Okay.
in the last year, they haven't really hung out. They're not all that close as they used to be. And then this
Mhm.
friend invites her to a winery.
Okay.
But she's pregnant and the friend doesn't know. So she politely declines, says she's not feeling too well, whatever. Then the
Okay.
following week, the friend invites her to something else again.
Mm.
And then she says to the friend that, oh, she'll let her know closer to the day if she can make it, that she's not sure. Now, I think the night before she turns down the friend is like, can't make it. And then posts on her Instagram a photo of her eating herself eating ice cream. And then the friend messages her to be like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And she says, okay, I'm just making sure you're not going to be sick again. And like for the following event, I'm going to invite you to, like, you'll be able to make it. Um, and then she goes, because the last time you said you were sick and I wasn't sure if you had another baby on the way. And then the OP, the person who posted it, responded. She goes, I didn't realize eating ice cream was a sign of pregnancy. And then the friend is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm just piecing things together because you said you didn't feel good a couple weeks ago when I invited you out, and now you're eating ice cream. I'm not sure if you're pregnant and just hiding it. Hopefully I didn't offend you. So she was like, I'm sorry, but asking someone if they're pregnant, isn't it rude? Especially when you're now trying to corner them. Because she admits that she was speculating that I'm hiding my pregnancy. And so that's why she's asking now that she's seen me take ice cream. And then she goes, I feel like I'm going crazy here, but like, is it okay to speculate if a woman is pregnant based off of what she's eating? And that she felt like the only reason that friend invited her to the winery was so that she could arrive there and not be able
Oh
to drink.
gosh.
And then she can piece it together that, yeah, my suspicions are right. You are pregnant. So the question is she crazy or should this be a personal thing? Cass, I know how I feel on this. Cass.
I know how I feel, and I feel like she's reading too much into this. Like, if I'm your friend and I'm like going, hey, like, let's hang out. And this, please, I also say this, someone who's never been pregnant. So your eyes have been opened to something new
My
that
eyes
I've
have
never
been opened.
experienced. Okay. But for me, what I think is that, like, if I call myself your friend and I'm like, hey, let's go do this thing, and you like are like, no, I'm not feeling so well, and then hey, let's go do this thing, and then you blow me off again. And if this is weird behavior versus before, then I'm gonna be like, what's up? What's happening? Are you fine? Are you okay? And
Yes, but you're
then
not
maybe,
going to be like, are you pregnant again? Because you're eating ice cream.
but if it's pregnant again, maybe last time when you were pregnant, you were eating a lot of ice cream and you didn't want to come to the winery. What I'm saying is, I feel like this person is reading too much into this line of questioning. Like, I wouldn't, with the not never having been pregnant person that I am now, I wouldn't have taken offense to this. I wouldn't have been like, how dare she, just because I ate ice cream and didn't want to go drink wine? How dare she ask me if I'm pregnant? I probably would have just laughed. Is she actually pregnant or is she not pregnant?
She is pregnant.
So her friend is also right.
She is pregnant, but friend was like, I feel like you're hiding your pregnancy. And I'm just like, it is a personal decision. And I know we've talked about this before, but like, it's a very personal decision whether or not you want to announce your pregnancy, whether you want to talk about it, like, it's
100%.
so someone shouldn't arrive. And bear in mind, she says an estranged friend, like they used to be really close. They
Oh,
haven't hung
okay.
out in like
A
a year.
estranged friend. Okay, well then
Yeah.
there you go.
They
That's
haven't
helpful
like
information.
they haven't hung out
Okay.
in like a year or something.
Now,
So
my question then remains, because I still remain unoffended by this line of questioning. Okay. But like, why have we not hung out in a year?
I
Is
don't
there
know.
maybe other tensions that are now making me get upset by this line of questioning? All of this to say that I am not offended by this line of questioning.
I am.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be like, I and if I didn't want to share, this doesn't make me feel pressured to share, I'd blow it
Mm-mm.
off. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, no,
I'm not
whatever. I'm not.
offended, but
But I
it
wouldn't be offended. I'm
wasn't.
not taken aback. I'm like, oh, okay, you in your speculation journey, have fun.
But
I'm
it
not
wasn't
really gonna
handled
confirm or deny.
tactfully. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were gonna do this, I feel like there would be an undertone of care. But with this friend, it's like, oh, I see you eating ice cream. Are you hiding a pregnancy? It's kind of giving aggressive. I don't know.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I'm
I
picking up
don't get
on.
that at
And
all.
especially because we're not friends anymore, or at least we haven't been for like a
Yeah,
year.
for me, then
So
I
you
get that.
arriving and then just wanting to suddenly be in my business. Because I'm thinking about it, if any of my friends who are like ex friends arrives now in my DMs to be like, oh, you haven't been on Instagram. You didn't do a birthday shoot. You didn't do this shoot. Is it because you're hiding a pregnancy? I know I would feel some type of way like, girl,
With you.
you're not even in my
But
business on the
but
day
for
to day.
me,
Stay out of it.
the key issue there is ex-friend.
Mm.
That's the key
Okay.
issue.
Moving on. So this woman, she asks a question. She goes, oh no, she makes a statement. It shouldn't be all right to ask someone about their pregnancy unless they bring it up. I wasn't a
Mhm.
fan of it while I was pregnant, but it didn't seem that bad until after I had the baby. So I gained a lot of weight during pregnancy and ended up with diastasis recti. You know what that is, right?
Not at
It's
all.
like the muscles in your abdomen stretch because of your womb getting bigger and bigger. And then after the baby goes, there's kind of a like a separation. So they don't contract back the way that they should.
Oh
And so your
my
tummy is
God.
kind of still big for like, and you can't really like it's a whole thing. It's a process and a healing journey. So it takes a while. So it just
Shit.
separates and
Okay.
kind of stays that way. The muscles aren't able to come back together after
Okay.
you. Yeah, so it happens to some people. I've probably explained this very badly. I'm new in this world, so forgive me.
It
Um
sounds horrible.
he says it's been 4 months and I've lost over 30 pounds.
Yay.
Um, but my belly still bulges. And I'm
Okay.
working on getting my body back to normal. Now, she says, I've been very self conscious about my body, and I generally wear
Mm.
baggy sweatshirts every day to cover up. It's my second day back at work, and the woman who came in to give me a break just had to ask me if I was expecting a baby. I responded no politely and explained that I had just had a baby, but I honestly felt like I could cry. It felt crappy to have people
Shame.
comment on how big I was when I was pregnant, but it feels so defeating to have someone ask that when I'm in the process of trying to get my body back. I just feel like I can't wear anything shapewear every time I leave the house just to avoid getting that question from people. I know it wasn't done with cruel intentions, but unless the person you want to ask brings it up, it shouldn't be acceptable to ask someone that. And further down in the comments, there's this woman who goes, girl, I'm overweight. I've been overweight my whole life. They ask me every other day if I'm pregnant.
Really?
Yes. In the
I've
comments, like
never been asked if I'm
it's one of
pregnant.
the comments. It's like, I'm a chubby girl. I've been asked countless times. So like that's
I've
my
never
whole
been asked if I'm
thing.
pregnant. Okay. Now, in this chat,
Mm,
that's horrible. Like, it is horrible. And I'm really trying to process what my actions have I made a pregnant woman feel bad? Like, really, I'm thinking about it because like I automatically treat pregnancy as something to be celebrated. I don't think I would ever go to someone and say, "Are you expecting?" So like I said to you, like
mm.
I don't think I would, but I would wait for it to be confirmed in some other way, shape, or
Some
form,
way.
and or for
And
her to
then
tell me,
jump on
and then
it.
I will jump on it. But to your point, even if someone else is like, "Oh my gosh, Alison is pregnant," I would go to Alison and be like, "Oh my gosh, I heard you're pregnant," and maybe that's not okay. Like,
I wouldn't do
like
that. Yeah, I'd wait for
I would.
Allison to
I'd be
tell me.
excited for Alison. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." But maybe Alison is like, you know,
I
fuck
think
you,
it
Cassie.
depends on the
Like,
relationship you have with Allison,
fair, of course,
right?
of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a relationship with Alison, I don't think I'd run up to her and be like, "Oh my gosh, Alison, you're pregnant." to be fair. But you're right. That story made me sad because it's sad. It's sad.
It's mostly, I think what makes it so difficult is because of, I mean, in recent times, well, yeah, I mean, recent times, like maybe the last 20 years, is snapback culture, where
Mm,
it's like, now, you are pregnant. Now, you have born the baby. Now, your tummy must be flat. Like, there
mm.
is no grace for, you've just gone through
For
what
recovery.
was, yeah,
Gosh.
what doctors will, because my brother-in-law is a gynae. He's like, it's a traumatic experience for both mom and the baby. Like, you've gone through this whole thing, but somehow Instagram and the influencers, as Cassie likes to call them, have
The
made it seem
influencers.
like, and you see all these videos like, oh, you just, day one of postpartum, bump, day two of postpartum, no bump.
Yeah.
And you're just like, so I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people are going through, a lot of things in for like this story now, because she's in her postpartum journey, which is already a hectic thing. To now be
Heavy.
asked, oh, why are you pregnant? Because your tummy's still so big. That
Oh
can be
my gosh.
so heavy.
Disheartening. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if so I think so I'll read you a quote what someone said. I think that the best way to handle this kind of thing is, don't ask. Let the person tell you. Like, don't go around asking, because it could be,
You're
the thing is,
right.
it could be received well, and at the same time, you could be damaging someone's already fragile, mental state. For
But
me,
then
my
why
experience
are
was,
you okay with the way grandma asked?
that's
Because she
me.
didn't.
I'm speaking generally. I'm like, me, for instance, the grandma thing was a positive encounter. But
Mm,
what if it was on a day where I was just not feeling
feeling
good about
bad. Yeah.
myself? It could have also been a very negative encounter. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of the problem, is that
Got
you are
it.
on this emotional roller
Journey.
coaster, um that is up and down every other day. So something that you find that you're receptive to on one day, and you find like a pleasant experience one day, the next day could be truly horrifying. And that's the reason why I would say, to you err on the side of caution and just don't ask.
Just don't ask.
Just don't,
Well,
except they tell you. And look, let me be very honest. What I've also done and what I've noticed is that being pregnant kind of consumes your whole life and your whole brain. You talk about it a lot. Me. I talk about it a lot. A lot of pregnant people will talk
well,
about
I
it
mean,
a
it's the
lot.
biggest thing happening to you, and it is an all-consuming thing. So I fully get that.
That's what I'm saying.
The
So if you
one
wait
thing,
long enough, she will
yeah,
say something about it. She'll give you an
with you,
opening, and then
with
jump
you,
on that thing as hard as you want. The point
with you.
is, she
I
greenlit you.
I have a question for you as well, like, because you're pregnant and I am not.
Wow,
Um,
Cass. Just
um,
wow.
because I'm like, I had an incident with a pregnant woman.
Okay.
Story time.
Incident.
I had an incident with a pregnant woman in which I was at a furniture store and I was buying furniture.
Mm,
And because it's a furniture store, it's not like furniture that can like fit in a trolley.
mm,
It's like really, really big. And then we had to take it and get it scanned at the counter. But they
mm,
had one of those like snake aisles. You
mm,
know, the aisles that go like boom, boom,
mm, mm.
boom, back and forth. And so in the store was fairly empty. So there was not a lot of people in the aisle at all. Anyway, so I finished doing my shop with the store attendant, and my trolley has got like boxes that are going to make it very difficult to maneuver
Yeah,
through the snake aisle.
yeah.
So he's like, "Don't worry about it. Just come this way and go." Now there was only one person at the cashier's desk,
Oh,
and there was a customer, but
mm.
the store was not full. There was one customer, one cashier, and then it was me, but I hadn't gone through the snake out. I was
Got
standing on the
you.
side.
Okay.
Okay. And then he was like, "Oh, I just quickly need to go get the barcode for this one item. I'll be back." So he
Mm,
disappears.
mm,
And he's like, "Wait here." So I'm standing there waiting for the cashier to check out the customer that she's working with.
mm,
This lady who has like stuff in her trolley comes up and makes her way through the snake aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then just as she hasn't made it to the front of the snake aisle line, but she's like halfway through.
Mm,
And then the cashier finishes with the other lady. And then I go to the
mm,
cashier.
mm.
And this pregnant lady, like, lost it.
How do you know she
She
was
was,
pregnant?
oh, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. She's
Okay.
like, excuse me. And I was like, oh no. So I'm like, oh no, no, no. I'm not, I promise I'm not cutting in the line. Like, and I explained the story and I explained the situation. She's like, there's a line. You have to go. This is the way it is. The store does things for like this for a reason. You're not special. If anyone's special, it's me because I'm pregnant.
Hi,
Is this
Bo.
no, no,
What?
no. And friend, she goes on. She literally is like, is this how you treat pregnant people? You want me to stand extra long in the line, like while I'm pregnant? She's like, this is not how we treat people. Like, this is not okay. And I can be spicy. I don't want to lie, okay? I don't want to lie. I can be spicy. I'm not 100% proud of this, but she went on such a long rant and it pissed me off so much. And so I'm like trying to say to her, like, look, I've actually been standing here for like quite a while. She's speaking over me, going on and on and on about how she's pregnant. And you can, I mean, she's showing,
Mm,
So
mm.
like even when she walked past, I was like, oh, a pregnant lady. I did acknowledge that she was pregnant. But it didn't mean for me that what you get special treatment now because you're pregnant. We must all bow down before you because you're carrying human life. So I so she's going. So I said to her, I was like, did I make you pregnant?
Is that what you
Was it
said
me?
to her?
I did. I did. I said, the way you're going on, it's like I owe you something. I didn't make you pregnant. I've tried to explain to you what's going on here, but you just keep going. So, like, I'm going
Sure.
to cash out now. By this point, the guy is back. So I said, I'm going to cash out now. I'm not going to be long. And then it will be your turn. It's fine. But I didn't make you pregnant.
Um. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Now,
mm.
again, I could have been nicer, sure. Okay. She was like a proper Karen on fire. Like
See,
going, going, going.
that's my thing. There's a lot of things that we ascribe to pregnancy, and yes, being hormonal and being having bad like mood swings and having bad days,
Mm,
like it's rough. It does
mm.
completely take you out. But if you were a Karen before you got pregnant, please don't lie on that poor child and say that it's because you are pregnant.
Look,
Own your
I
Karenness.
I don't want to lie. It was also like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. in the store. So like, and now going on this journey with you, hearing the things that are hard for you, I'm like, homegirl was probably having like a rough day.
For sure.
and
She probably
and
was.
it was like really it was a tough day in pregnancy land. It was really hard. She just needed to quickly pop to the store, get a few things, and she
Mhm.
thought it would be
Mhm.
quick and easy because it was 6 p.m. and the store was
Mhm.
empty, and she bumped into me, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like I can see that now, but I still have no sympathy for the way she
No.
reacted, the way she spoke to me, the way she like lauded her pregnancy on me as if because she is pregnant, we must pave the pathway with gold for her. Do
I
you know what I
still
mean? Like
yeah.
I
No.
I was like, no, babes, I'm so sorry. This is a choice you made for yourself. The world moves on. Like
I
the world
look,
moves on.
I personally, my nature, and this had nothing to do with whether or not I'm pregnant or going through this experience myself. I I kind of give preferential treatment to them because I've always just felt like you are doing the most. So like if I'm in a line, usually I would like let them if I like if they're like next to me, I'd like offer them my slot or offer them my seat, or that's
Mm.
kind of who I am. But
No,
not
me,
when
friend,
you
me
are
too.
demanding it
Not when you
from me. Uh-uh.
arrive at me like
Uh-uh.
this, though.
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
so
no.
sorry.
Let's not let pregnancy is a lot of
No,
things, but let's not make it an excuse for bad behavior.
thank you.
If you're badly
Yeah.
behaved, you're badly behaved. It has nothing to do with the child that you're growing. Just own it. You're badly
Because
behaved,
here's my thing. If she had come to me and been like, hey, what's going on? And I'd explained the situation in the line, and she'd been like, oh, okay, sorry about that. And then she goes, look, I'm really sorry. I'm like,
I need to pee. Like that's
I've
a
been on my feet
thing.
the whole day, or I really need to pee. Like,
Yeah.
would you absolutely hate it if I went ahead of you? Not 1000%. I would have been like,
Yes.
babes, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. But she came at me hot. She came at me hard. And I was like, two can play this game, babes.
The thing that I don't know that
Two
I
can
mean,
play.
for sure, I don't think you should have deferred to her or anything, but like,
Mm.
yo, Cass, did I make you pregnant? Hey,
Uh-uh.
Bo,
Again,
I
like I said,
don't know. It's,
I'm not 100% part of it, but I was just like, you're putting this on me. Like I must give you the world.
no, I
Is this
don't
is
agree.
your pregnancy my responsibility?
Mm-mm.
No, it's not.
Mm.
Did I make you pregnant? No, I didn't.
Yeah, like this,
You made
as
a life
much,
choice, babes.
fair
Deal.
enough. Like you did make a life choice. You're going on this journey, and whatever's happening, or like, I just don't think she should have spoken to you that way, to be very honest. And I don't think that she should blame that on being pregnant. There's
For sure.
women
Oh
who are
yeah.
pregnant and are
Yeah.
doing their jobs 9 to 5. And I know it's different for everyone, and it gets
Yeah.
hard for
Yeah.
people at
Yeah.
different times. But still, don't speak to people like that just because, like,
Yeah.
pregnancy does not
And
make you
I told
entitled.
you, I can be spicy. I was
You
spicy, but
can't.
she was asking for it. My
I
goodness.
mean, to be very honest with you, I think I agree. She was asking for it. Like, she could have just
Mm.
been like, okay, can I go in front of you? If she really needed to, like for whatever reason, her ankles are swollen, she needs to pee, the baby's
And
kicking her or whatever, and you would have been okay
genuinely,
with
I
it.
would have been 100%
I
fine
think
with it.
most people
I
would
would have
be
been like,
okay
go
with
for
it.
it.
What people don't like is when you arrive with this life choice that you've now made and then think that we all must cater to you simply
Mm-mm,
because of that. You feel like it's a
mm-mm.
right.
Sorry.
I think that's where the problem
Sorry.
is.
Nope.
Anyway, so I seen this post and the person's like, you have 4 options if you ask a woman if she's pregnant. One,
Mm.
she isn't and she doesn't want to be. Great. Now you've told her she looks fat. She isn't and she wants to be. Great. Now you've made her
Oh.
upset. She is and she doesn't want to be. Yikes on bikes. Thanks for bringing that up. And the last one, she is and she wants to be. Great. Now you've ruined her pregnancy announcement. So it's
Oh
like,
gosh.
exactly. It's nuanced. It could be a good thing. It could go left. Like, because I know that some people are like, pregnancy announcements are a thing. And remember, I told you, for me, it wasn't a thing. I'm like, I'll do a shoot, but like the whole pregnancy announcement thing, like it wasn't a thing for me. But for some people, it is. And that's why they're
It's a big
concealing.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big moment. So they'll
Mm.
conceal for like the first 3+ months. And the moment they're
Mm.
greenlit by their doctor, like it's safe, baby's fine, you're good, you're kind of out of the woods, they've got a whole thing planned how they want to announce it on Instagram, at family Thanksgiving dinner, with a present wrapped under the tree at Christmas. Like they've got a whole thing. Now you arrive and steal their thunder. It's like, mind your business.
I
I don't
know.
know. I think it's
No, you're
dicey,
right.
but
You're right.
I think it's dicey, but I also think it's private. And I think that we maybe the best way to deal with it is to treat it like anything else in healthcare. You don't ask about people's medical records, you know? So don't assume,
Yeah.
don't go asking.
Yeah.
Wait for them to tell. I promise you, if she's pregnant and she's happy to be pregnant, she is dying to tell, she will tell you.
She
Give
wants
it a
everyone to
minute.
know.
It will
Yeah.
drop in the
Same.
conversation. Something will happen.
Yeah.
You'll get your opening and then you can run with it. But I think just so that we don't make people uncomfortable, especially if they're
Yeah.
not, or if they've, and here's another one that's really hard, Cass. Imagine you've just had a baby, but it was a
Mm.
stillborn.
Shoo.
but you're still in the first week of postpartum, for instance. Your tummy's not flat yet. You probably still look very pregnant. And then someone goes, are you having a baby, or how's the baby? Or because imagine, put the grandma's
Yeah.
comment in this scenario I've just painted. You've just lost a child, you're just heading home, or you're just going out to grab a coffee to get yourself whatever. You've still got a bit of a bump, right? Because you made it. This isn't like you lost the baby in the 3 months. You've made it. But then something goes wrong at the end. Now, this friendly, happy grandma goes, how's the baby?
Yo. Do you know what? My spicy self would be like, dead.
And
I'm
on that
sorry,
note,
but
we're
I
going to
would.
end the episode because I cannot do it, Cassandra,
I'm
anymore.
just like, I'm just saying, like, that's how I would probably emote. Like, I'd
Yeah,
probably,
I
because
know.
it's so traumatic,
It
and
is.
it's such a horrible thing to have to deal. So now strangers ask me and I must what? Be polite about it, pretend like everything
Like
is okay.
when your world
Everything
is
is
falling
not
apart.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, my child is no longer. My
Yeah.
child does not exist anymore.
Sure.
And you have the audacity to ask, to your point, well, here's the
Mm.
truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just
Sure.
I feel like it's a very
You,
or the
yeah.
person's not even pregnant at all. They've just got a tummy. Because there's people who just have a big tummy. They're not
Yeah.
pregnant, have never been
Yeah.
pregnant, don't want to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And now you arrive with
Yeah.
your how many months are you? Girl, it's just food.
Listen, you're making me think about this like very differently. And not because I was the kind of person who would walk up to someone and be like, "Are you pregnant?" or like, "How's the baby?" or "When's the baby due?" Like, I don't think that that's who I am. But I didn't think about this question as deeply as you have made me think about it.
I
And
only
I'm
started
just
thinking
like,
about it
"Oh,
deeply myself because for me,
okay.
yesterday, when it happened, I didn't feel any type of way. Do you know what I mean? At
Yeah.
first, with grandma, I was fine. Where I started to feel a bit some type of way was when I was getting asked details at the nail
Mm,
salon. Then I was like, wait, hold on. Is this just a thing now? Are we just openly doing this thing? And how do I feel about it? That's when I started thinking about it and I went to go read and see, like, is it a thing? Why was I weirded out a little bit by the nail technician, but not weirded out by grandma? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I went on this journey just to see how everyone else feels. Cause I don't know. Like
with you. Well,
it
I mean,
could be.
it seems to be a pretty strong consensus that this is not a question we ask.
Yeah, so maybe let's not do it. I don't believe in asking people if when they're having babies. I think I'm gonna add this one to it. Like, don't ask a person if they're
Yeah.
pregnant. Just leave it. They'll
Yes.
tell you, they'll
Yeah.
announce it, they'll post a photo, whatever. Even if you suspect, keep that information to yourself. Just don't be the first one. Wait for them to tell you and then go crazy.
Hmm.
Anyway, but I want to hear other people's thoughts on this. Like, have you asked someone if they're pregnant? What was the response? How did that work out for you? Have you been pregnant? And what did it feel like when people started to ask you? Come share with us on Instagram and on TikTok. And also don't forget that you can watch this episode and all of our other episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aria Jewale.
I'm
Love
Cassie
saying it
J.
now.
Say it all the time. It's a
I
great
know.
name.
I should. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. You can also watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.